Hello and welcome to the Unlucky Alchemist's Field Guide.
The podcast, episode 2.
Tonight, what are we talking about?
Well, we look in the field guide here. Tonight it looks like we're looking into magical parasites. And we're going to start off with one that you and I have came up with, which is a cishada, as we like to call it. And it's a combination between a cicada and some sort of like shadow magic creature monster thing.
Or a cicada and a shade.
Yes.
You know, because like in D&D stuff, shades are like shadow creatures who steal your life force.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. I am the D&D knower.
Yes.
Well, D&D and associated properties.
Yeah, the RPG guru, if you will.
Whereas when it comes to actual just like fantasy reading, we're probably pretty comparable.
Yeah, yeah. Now if we go into like urban fantasy, I think I got the upper hand a little on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, so cishadas. So you start off with the concept of the cicada. Specifically going off the concept of laying under the ground in wait and then popping back up later.
Yeah.
Mix it with shades, so shadow creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. This is in part inspired by D&D lore, with like the Plane of Shadows, or Shadowfell, or any one of those things. It's basically like a second layer to the world that is based on shadow magic.
Okay.
So there is typically like dark and distorted reflections of the normal world there.
Mm-hmm.
And actually things that are, because there would still be like sentient creatures and whatnot over there.
Okay.
Things they build and do can also influence the normal world in ways that people would not get what or why things were happening. Cishadas, in this case, as opposed to burying themselves underground, waiting the years and then coming out, I am imagining that. So for one, they're not actual cicada size, they are closer to chihuahua sized.
And we're not talking like teacup chihuahuas. We're talking about, slightly larger chihuahuas.
Somewhere around a chihuahua to a corgi.
Yeah. So they got a little heft to them.
They got a heft. They can still fly and headbutt you. But the important thing is that they will lay eggs in pools of shadow that exist both on the normal world and the shadow world. If you walk by and your shadow touches that shadow, so in this case we are talking like dark basements that nearly never see light, specifically the corner of a dark basement where the light doesn't reach it. Because if light hits the pool of shadow and breaks it up, it can kill the eggs.
Yeah.
So the cishada has to, look around and find a good, happy, dark spot to lay its eggs.
Which implies to me that some, deep-sea caverns probably have, a butt-ton of cishada eggs.
They may well. I do imagine that they are, suspended animation-y, where they can lay there and wait as long as needed. It's not like actual cicadas, where they'll, chill out and come out 7 years later. Because it's, inspired by. But, Mummy's Curse can also apply here.
Okay.
So, Ancient Tomb, because, it might be possible to enter that place on the shadow side as opposed to on the normal side. Oh, also, cishadas can go back and forth freely.
Okay.
That's just... It's... Amphibious is the wrong word, but it's the comparison I want to make.
Where they can, kind of walk both worlds.
Yeah. They can, dive into a shadow and pop out on the other side. So the next thing we need to get into with this. Someone has walked by somewhere that nobody has been for quite a while, and they picked something up in their shadow.
And this works because the morphology of the eggs that we're thinking about is something similar to a little little burr that you might get on your socks if you walk through the woods.
Yeah, but in the shadow plane that clings to your shadow on this side.
Yeah. So you end up kind of dragging a bunch of eggs with your shadow if you venture too far into the woods.
Venture into the wrong part of the woods, the wrong cave where light hasn't been in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
You might get infected. And then, as you're going out and about, you're constantly producing a shadow, which keeps the eggs out of any direct sunlight.
Because they will move and sway with your shadow, kind of if you were to take like a little bucket of water and swish tadpoles back and forth.
And in this, we are going with the concepts that your shadow is metaphysically and somewhat spiritually attached to you. Because they will start to grow and start to eat.
What do they eat?
Your ability to tolerate sunlight. But your shadow, in a sense, is kind of their food. You will get progressively sicker and sicker. Wearing out, hair falling out, skin burning, and eyes burning in any amount of light.
And if you can get somebody to stop screaming enough to stand in the sun for a hot second, you will see kind of the like outlines of the eggs with the little cishada larvae squirming around in their shadow.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if you looked close enough, if you could notice, like, trails or pulses in their skin in alignment with the spot in the shadow.
Seems reasonable.
Because it is messing with your body. And your, like, life force is being drained to feed this. Obviously, right, your best case scenario is that you pick up a bunch of cishada eggs. And then you get in just an appropriate bright light such that you no longer cast a shadow when they're all gone.
So if you're, like, surrounded by spotlights.
Right.
Okay.
If you do not cast a shadow, there is no shadow for them to sit in and survive. The spot where your feet touched the ground doesn't count.
Too thick of a shadow.
It's wrong. It's not a shadow.
Okay.
It's not the display off of you. Right? It's not blocked light. It's just there's no space. Like, I view that as a distinction.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because if you think about, like, Peter Pan when his shadow, like, trails off of him, it's not like there's light underneath his shoes illuminating the spots he's stepping on, but there's something metaphysically wrong with him that his shadow is disconnected.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, that's not how light works in the real world.
Yeah, but we're talking high fantasy.
But we're talking fantasy. So, in that... Although, I mean, if you want it to count, I guess maybe you have to live... Like, if for your game or your story you want it to count, maybe you have to lift them up with a pulley and then surround them with spotlights.
Little levitation magic.
True. In this case, obviously you could also do, like, cure disease, cure parasite, right, depending on the magic you've got access to. And if you could get the person to survive it, like if the person was extremely fire resistant,
just straight into the pit.
Like
all the flames.
Like maybe a giant oven would be bright in the right way to make sure there were no shadows.
Maybe if you had like a dragon-centered build character, or a tiefling, or a demon-centered character.
Or if you had to cure a dragon.
Oh, reasonable.
Right, you're like trying to gain the favor of some... Oh, that's a specific name of a specific thing. I can't say that one. Let's say Volcanus the Flame Lord. Right?
Into the volcano, there you go. Everything's warm and cozy lighting with the molten lava.
Yeah, and actually maybe also being in an entirely opaque liquid might count.
Oh, yeah, because you wouldn't technically be casting a shadow.
Uh-huh. Well, because you wouldn't be blocking any light.
Though you would be...
The light would be blocked before you got to it.
But that seems like more of a space that they would drive you to hide.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you find a glowing liquid...
Oh!
And you swim in that...
Some, glowing... If you get enough of those little glow-in-the-dark bracelets...
and close your eyes and hold your breath, pinch your nose.
Yep, just jump in.
Swim around in that liquid. Maybe, actually.
Congratulations, no more Cishadas, but you probably got some other poisonings to deal with now.
Because you didn't clear all the glass shards out. Because actually in those glow-in-the-dark tubes, it's just a glass rod in the middle with liquid in it.
Yeah.
And you just crackle in the glass.
Yup.
I think, seeing someone, pour out the liquid separately and seeing them just break glass, it felt way weirder that it was so normal to have this weird 2 chemicals with a glass jar inside some plastic as a normal toy.
For children.
I mean, it's hard to get into.
Yeah, but we'll bit through them. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
So off topic. The core point being that would be one way to cure it. So okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna recap where we were.
Okay.
So, an adult cishada, the size of a small but not tiny dog, that can fly and break your knees if it headbutts you right.
Oh, right, yeah, because they can do little small combat things to fight.
Well, and we're just about to get to why that matters here. They lay their eggs somewhere. Someone unsuspecting gets their shadow caught in it. They get sicker and sicker, no one knows what's up. They start avoiding any amount of sunlight, only dealing in the night, going to the point where candlelight is unbearable on their skin. No one knows what's wrong. No adventurer who can help them has been by. And all goes wrong. And they probably, but not necessarily, die. As their shadow has a flood of adult-sized cishadas grow up, having fed on them, and make a swarm.
Oh, there we go.
Right? And so in those swarms, any normal person... Because again, dog-sized with an exoskeleton. So they're all, aggressive dogs who can fly in metal armor.
They don't necessarily bite.
It's all headbutting and bouncing into each other. If you are in the middle of that, there is a good chance you get pulverized. And then they fly off, and they individually find their own spaces of deep darkness, and lay more eggs. Probably dying in that process.
Probably, because I'm imagining their life cycle is pretty similar to an actual cicada.
Yeah.
They grow up, they hatch, they scream, they mate, they die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that time where you're getting headbutt to death is probably a mating swarm.
And they're just wait, you're not a cishada. Headbutt, headbutt, headbutt.
I don't even imagine. I think they're just screaming and flying around looking for each other. And I was like, well, I haven't started with anybody. And you're just in the middle.
They try to go for your knees, thinking it's the proboscis of another cishada or something.
Maybe. I was imagining you're just collateral damage. If they're swarming around and there are trees in the middle, they don't care. They'll bump off of them while they're...
That sounds very cicada-coded.
Right. They don't care. You're not another one of them. They're just flying, looking around, being like, hey, you wanna? As each time they ask, they broke a bone. Again, for a normal person. Right? This is the sort of thing that if you did not die of the disease, you get bludgeoned to death when they're born.
What a way to go.
What a way to go. But again, it is curable if you know what it is. But part of the problem is that they are spaced out so randomly and rarely. And the Cishadas themselves, post-mating, can actually get really far. Because they can, like, dip back and forth between the normal and the shadow worlds.
Oh, that's fair. I didn't think about that.
And there's also, when you get into these, like, interdimensional travel things, there's, like, weird connections between shadows and distance.
Okay. They kind of wormhole it?
It's kind of wormhole-y. There's, like... There might be, like, a mirror version of, like, a building from our world, but there might be, like, a section that's, like, almost always in direct sunlight that doesn't really get transported over, so maybe that's an area you can step over. Or maybe an area of deep darkness is actually, like, bigger and longer in the shadow world.
Okay.
So they don't get as far as you'd expect in that section.
The Mariana Trench would be quite the landscape, I'm sure.
It would. It would. And again, this is on your conception of if you want the Shadow Realm. If you don't want to make a whole Shadow Realm for them, and you don't have that in your game, you have the simple option of shadow-to-shadow teleportation. So, like, diving into a shadow on one side of town and swimming out of a shadow on the other side of town. And, like, doing a constant dive up and down to travel, like, miles and miles without much problem. Because these Cishadas are parasitic.
Yeah, and that's something that we should iterate, is that they can lay in the shadows and, like, the caves and stuff, but they're not really going to grow until they hitch a ride on a living being's shadow.
Yeah, well, because they're gonna, right, if they're gonna be eggs. Completely dormant, because they don't have a food source. It's kind of like seeds until they get, like, the right amount of water and dirt.
So then that would entice the Cishadas to maybe not lay their eggs in the Mariana Trench, but in areas a little closer to civilization, but that are still relatively dark. So in the woods, in the caves, like you said, in the basements, in old sheds, maybe, root cellars.
And I have a feeling that there would be some kind of sense or feeling they could get that a certain shadow is the type that doesn't get disturbed. Or a certain pool of darkness. Right? They'd be able to sense where they should, like, lay down, die, and lay their eggs.
And, like, I could see also maybe the Cishadas kind of having one of those where the bugs will kind of populate the same areas, or even if their parents, like, flew off of fairways, they kind of have their little nooks and crannies that they just
fair.
kind of biologically know.
That's fair.
Like salmon.
Like salmon. Sam Shadas.
Sam Shade. The fish variant.
But anyway. I feel like that pretty fully covers them.
I believe so.
Though if you want to get into funky magic stuff, and you want to make an item that can, like, dip into shadows and what, you could probably turn those eggs into some, like, weird alchemical ingredient.
Oh, see, I was picturing you just having, like, a shadow dipping variant of, like, some raid bug spray that you just kind of dip into the person's shadow and you spray around in there.
Well, I was imagining, like, the equivalent of a citronella candle. That you just, like, light this, like, anti-shadow candle, and you drop it over their shadow and it falls in.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that would be... Oh, that's... The mental image I'm getting right now is trippy.
Okay.
Because I'm imagining in this case that your shadow is like a pond. Right? And that's the one that they're staying in, because it's connected to your life force. But you have a candle that doesn't just sit and glow on the shadow, but it sinks into the shadow and it illuminates the liquid that is your shadow.
Ooh, that would be a pretty cool, like, artifact. Or
that would.
magic thingy.
I don't know what other uses it would have, but I like it.
And you see, it would almost have to glow with like a dark flame. Because if you have a regular flame-lit candle, it's going to move your shadow. Your shadow is going to avoid that light.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, so you'd have to have a candle that when you light it does not produce light.
Okay. Either does not produce light or lights when dipped in shadows.
That would be cool.
So you just pull out, like, a normal, like, little, like, shot glass candle.
A tea candle?
No, but, okay, like a tea candle size.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining that the holder is, like, about the size of a shot glass.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know why, it just feels better to drop it than a tea candle. I think the shape just feels more aerodynamic for, like, landing where you want it to, instead of the flatter.
It would keep the flame in place.
Something like that.
Or more protected from the air resistance.
Yeah, that too. Having a little bit of that extra height to it.
Okay, so you got your whiskey mage with a shot glass, anti-light, anti-shadow creature candle.
Right? I'm trying to think of other uses for this, though.
Maybe we can explore the shadow whiskey tea candle in a different episode.
Yeah, we'll save this mage for the NPC episode.
Yeah, let me write that guy down.
Okay, so you all don't need to hear us just writing it down. This has been... Well, what's that look for, huh?
I was trying to type quietly.
Oh, that's fair. I more meant that we didn't need to just wait while you typed it. We could do a little... This has been the Unlucky Alchemist Field Guide.
Oh yeah, that works.